Hello guys, I used to work for FC for more than 10 years in the gameplay area and online gameplay performance area, and this is what I used to do, competitive analysis. What I would do is to play PES and understand what they were doing better than FC. Hold on, Renzo, nobody's gonna believe you, man. The game is terrible. What were you doing in FC, man? Oh my god. You need to explain yourself, man. Anyways, just wanted to tell you that. So I would play it and then gather videos and provide these videos to the producers. And given the reason why I was thinking it was a good idea to implement these features into FC. So in case you don't know, there's a new football game in the market, Goals. It is only online, free to play, cross-play, and it was in open beta a few weeks ago. So I played a lot of games and I have a lot of feedback to give them. So these guys basically, they've been working on this game for almost maybe 5 years. And I'm not sure if you know Kurt. I'm pretty sure you do. He was a pro player and he got into trouble. He was a troublemaker. He just didn't like FIFA. Who does, right? So he got into trouble. He got banned from FIFA. And then Stallion also works in that company. He's a YouTuber and he used to do amazing analysis on FIFA. And he also got tired of FIFA, which is understandable. I used to watch these guys when I worked on FIFA, and I think I was the only one watching them. So what I'm trying to say basically is that these guys, they used to play FIFA a lot and they were frustrated with the game. And I'm really glad these guys, they got together and formed this amazing group of people that are advocating for the community, because we all know what's going on with FC, man. It's a disaster. So basically they're trying to develop this game that is supposed to be as responsive as possible, and they want to focus on gameplay.
Disclaimer. If you want real players, this is not your game.
Aren't you sick of this?
If you
We've
want
been stuck in
very
simulation
assisted
too
gameplay,
long.
this is not your game either. And now let me show you why.
This is Goals.
Okay guys, so this is what I used to do when I worked for FC. I would play the game as competitive as possible with different players, with different attributes. For example, right now we're gonna start with passing. So what I would do is I would make different type of passes: through balls, lob throughs, crosses, ground passes, goalkeeper throws, goalkeeper volley passes, and then I would do a lot of them, try to understand the logic behind it. For example, right now I can tell right away that these guys, their ground passing is assisted, but it doesn't assist you too much because it doesn't avoid the player that is trying to block the pass, which is something very positive. But I think it would be great, you know, if they add on the settings to be able to have more control, more freedom, and for example, I play semi-assisted, and yeah, that would be great. Right now it feels a little rigid, and a lot of times it feels like they go very slow. Even though you are putting a lot of power, I'm not sure it's because of the attributes of the players, but for me that doesn't make sense. Any player can make a pass with power, and this game is gonna punish you, man. If you make a bad pass, you're gonna get punished. I really like that. Then we have lob throughs, are so fun, man. It just, you know, sometimes they feel that there's too much assistance, which what I would do is I would add a little more error depending where they are aiming and the player attributes. Then we have through balls, which are not as overpowered as in FC, which is great. So basically this game is gonna reward you most of the time when your player is in a good position, which is really good. For example, a guy is gonna make a through pass and I know he's gonna make it, so I read it and then I'm able to intercept the pass, right? So that's great. This is what we want, guys, a game that is gonna reward you. Then we have crosses. Here I think it's an area they have to investigate a little more, because a lot of times I make crosses and they don't go to the intended player. Even the direction it goes sometimes doesn't make too much sense. For goalkeeper throws, a lot of times I put a lot of power and they go to a player that is nearby, which is not the player that I want. So I think this is also an area they have to investigate a little more. But I really love, the volley passes from the goalkeeper. I'm not sure if they are too assisted. There might be a little, but yeah, they're good. Okay, so now we're gonna start with dribbling. Dribbling feels very nice. I really like dribbling in this game. I feel like it's similar than FIFA, to be honest. Even a little better, I would say. And pace really matters in this game. I know these guys are still adding a lot of animations, so that's gonna change, I know, and it's gonna be way more fun. But yeah, sometimes, when you do dribble turns, they look a little clunky and warpy at times. And I also found a few cases where I did a lob through pass and my player slowed down. I found a couple cases, so this is something, I think this is a bug, right? It shouldn't be this way. But overall, dribbling is fun, guys. I really like this feature in goals. And now, shooting feature. I think in this game it's very fun to take shots. There are different types of shots, finesse, low driven shots, and they are not as overpowered as in FC. In FC, you go from the wings and in a very unrealistic angle and you take a shot and you score. And in this game, it is different. So this is also part of, the goalkeeper, how he behaves in the game. But yeah, I really like taking shots in this game. It seems to be more consistent. The power matters, I think, more than the aiming. And I haven't seen a lot of people, taking shots from outside the box and scoring, which is very nice. I'm against, people just, doing, taking shots from outside the box. And in FC, it's super assisted. You have an icon and you take shots from anywhere and you score. And then I found a few cases that are related to ball physics, I think, because a lot of times I take shots to the goalkeeper and he rebounds, goes back to the opponent and the opponent scores. And also when you hit the post or the crossbar, like it goes back to the player and then players are able to score, which is something they have to investigate for sure. Okay, now defending. Defending is a feature that is very rewarding, guys. It feels like it's more manual to defend in this game. If you make a bad turn, you have to guess basically where the dribbler is gonna go. If you don't guess it, that's it, man. But that makes sense, right? Because that's realistic. That's the way it is in real football. You have the dribbler and you have to guess where he's gonna go. So yeah, like doing standing tackles, auto tackles, slide tackles, it is very rewarding. You don't see rebounds, not too many. Maybe I've seen it, maybe I've seen them once, but most of the time, like 95% of the time, you're gonna get back possession if you do something right, which is really, really good. And for auto tackles, I think they work great. It just, sometimes I think they have to expand maybe that area that the player is able to trigger the auto tackle, because a lot of times the players are very close and they don't auto tackle. But most of the time they work really well. For slide tackles, I actually like how rewarding they feel when you time it right. My only concern is that a lot of times I'm trying to slide just to block a shot or cut off a pass, but instead the animation goes straight into the player and results in a foul. It would be great to have an option for semi-assisted or fully manual slide tackles, where you can control the direction and even the power. The longer you press, the further or stronger the slide. As for blocks, I love that players can actually block shots. That's something you can rarely get to do in FC. And every time I pull it off, I feel like Carlos Puyol out there. Then there is the CPU. In FC it's extremely assisted, and while it might still be somewhat assisted here, it's definitely not as bad. I think that devs are aware of it, and hopefully they keep improving it. I just don't want another overly assisted game. Now physical play. This is probably the area that needs the most work. There are still a lot of weird collisions that don't look realistic. I'm sure it's something they are already working on. I don't want to see those overpowered pushes like in FC. But overall defending is honestly the best feature in this game for me. It feels incredibly rewarding. Now attacking AI. I know Stallion used to create videos about FC attacking AI. So I think we're in good hands, guys. A lot of times there is good AI movement, and it feels so good that your AI teammates are giving you options to pass the ball. It's just that sometimes they don't make the runs that we would like to see. Again, this was a beta, and I'm pretty sure we will have good AI movement when they release the game. Alright, let's get into set pieces. I really like the penalty kick system. The core skill comes down to timing your shot power when the circle hits green, combined with using a reticle to aim where you want the ball to go. On top of that, you're trying to read where the goalkeeper will dive. It's simple, but that's exactly why it works clean. Intuitive systems tend to be the most satisfying. No need to overcomplicate. Looking ahead, it could be interesting to let the player turn his head before the shot, like in real life. I think that would add a layer of mind games to the minigame. It would also be cool to trigger different goalkeeper animations to make those moments feel even more dynamic. Now for corners, throw in some free kicks. Free kicks in particular feel very difficult to score. I was not able to score any of them. That is telling us system needs more balance. You don't want them to become too easy, but they also shouldn't feel nearly impossible, right? Hitting the middle ground is key to good design. But from what I experienced, aiming felt a bit slow, which might be part of the issue. Interestingly, one approach that worked really well and caught off opponents off guard was using a through pass instead of going directly for goal. That kind of emerging option is great, and it would be nice to see the system support more of that without limiting traditional scoring chances. And for throw-ins and free kicks, I felt that AI movement was lacking. A lot of times I wanted to pass the ball to one of my players, but they were very static. So I want them to give me options, right? I want them to move and give me options. Because a lot of times the opponent was able to intercept the pass or the throw. So hopefully this is an area that they can improve. I wish we finally had a perfect switching system in football games. I'm usually against too much hand holding, but let's be real. The system needs to be smarter. If I'm being countered, sure, let me switch manually to my center back, but in most cases the game should just know who I need. It should track where the ball is landing and instantly give me the player closest to the action or the one standing right in front of the attacker. Nothing is more frustrating than the game giving you a player who's already beat while the guy with the real chance to defend is left standing there. What I'm trying to say is that I see some flaws in switching for all football games, and their system should be smarter by now. Okay, their new system, the buzzer beater, I think it's called. I think this is a great system, man. Makes the game more dynamic and fluid. You cannot waste time anymore and hold possession for too long. So this system basically adds pressure to stop being a rat, basically. I love it. Now let's talk about trapping. My biggest issue here, which I already flagged to the team, is how the game sometimes takes away your control. For example, if a ball is loose and I know I can't get there first, I'd rather move my player to block the attacker's path. Instead, the game pulls my player toward the ball like a magnet, leaving me out of position. They really need to let us break away from the ball's orbit so we can actually defend properly. Now for the keepers, to be honest, I love that it's actually a challenge to score here. Well, most of the time. In FC, you can take shots from any angle, man. So unrealistic. And they just fly in, but not in this game. The goalkeepers are smart and their positioning is top notch, most of the time. My only concern is when they rush the attacker. Sometimes, they don't react in time. I want them to be active participants in the play without being totally overpowered. I know that devs are tweaking this, so hopefully we'll see the perfect balance soon. Now let's talk about responsiveness. Man, the menus are lightning fast. Whether you're jumping into a match or opening packs, they clearly want you to play the game, not just being on the menus. You can even navigate the menus and do different things while the game searches for an opponent. It is amazing. Okay, now let's talk about online gameplay performance. It's way better than FC, though I did notice some occasional delay, and the reason might have been because I matched with someone across the world. But hopefully, as the player base grows, the server infrastructure is strong enough to handle the load. But overall, the game felt responsive. Passing, shooting, you name it. It is good, man. Okay guys, so thank you very much for watching the video. I hope you guys give it a try when they release the game. Something I didn't mention is that the CEO was very active on social media. He was looking at all the comments people were talking about their game, and it was insane. That's what we need, guys. We need someone that really cares about their community. Okay, so I know it's hard, man. We've been playing FIFA for years. It's hard to adjust, but we want a company that really cares about their community, and I think these guys, they do care. Okay, so take care, guys. I hope you like the video and stay humble. See you.